Hey everyone, welcome back to BrowncoatNerd, and today we're going to be looking at some more grips for the Beretta Cheetah series. Now these particular grips are the Beretta factory wood grips. They come in a little plain package that looks like this. I believe I got these for like $35 or something off of eBay. They're pretty cheap, but to me I think they look pretty classy and pretty nice. So we'll kind of throw this in with the all of the grip videos I've been doing on Cheetah series. I promise you guys this is the last one, well, at least for a little bit. Also want to remind you guys to go check out my Rumble page as well as my Instagram page. Just trying to spread out a little bit, get some backups going. So anyways, let's move along. Like I said, these are the factory grips from Beretta. These run about $35 on eBay, and this particular set will fit the 82 or the 85 single stacks. They do make some for the double stack versions as well. And it's very much, let's pull out, these are the grips I originally, this panel had on there, kind of the second generation Beretta grips with the glossy black material but full checkering. This is a BB. That's what these came with. So it's very much kind of that same pattern, with the checkering and then the smooth border outline. Medallion obviously is a different size and a different place. I will say the original ones, both sides had the Beretta arrow logo. The wood grips, we have PB on one side, and then the classic 3-arrow Beretta logo on the other. Now, one thing I did come across, and I got a lot of feedback on this from different people that have had these grips, and one thing that everyone has warned me is these medallions are going to fall out. It's only a matter of time. I guess the glue they used was pretty crummy and pretty cheap. One guy mentioned, I guess he had had the experience before with some other grips, and so with the new ones he got, he just put Scotch tape around the medallion and then just shot it a bunch and waited for them to work loose. And once they did, the tape, prevented them from getting lost. And then I forget what kind of glue he said to use, but just good quality glue, and then re-adhered them to the grips. So one thing to look out for. I will definitely be kind of checking these to see how loose they are after each time I take this gun out and shoot it. And hopefully I will catch it in time for me to just kind of like peel them off once they get loose, and then reapply them with some, I guess, better wood glue. So that is one thing to definitely keep in mind. Now, as far as thickness, a lot of times I'll see people talk about in videos about how the wood grips for these Cheetahs are a little bit thinner than the factory grips. And like I said, I did have the glossy, full checkered black grips on there. And at least in this case, they were just a little bit thicker. So the plastic grips, the thickness using the cheapest digital calipers I could find on Amazon, measured anywhere between 30.3 millimeters to 29 millimeters. Now, when I measured the wood grips, those measured anywhere from 30.8 millimeters to 31.8 millimeters. So not much of a difference in thickness. I definitely can't tell holding it, but these wood grips are just a little bit thicker than at least the second gen plastic grips. Now, as far as weight, the original plastic grips came in at 1.1 ounces, and the wood grips came in at 1 ounce. So the wood grips are 0.1 ounces lighter. So once again, not a big difference. Another thing that's kind of a pain in the butt, and I've complained about it already, and you've probably already seen it. The earlier generations of the Cheetahs, the screws they used are a very thin screw. So I actually ended up getting a, I guess, kind of like a gunsmith screw set. Even then, the thinnest one in there wasn't thin enough. So I ended up filing it down just a little. and I'm finally able to use it. However, these were already kind of chewed up a little bit, and then in the process of me finding how thin I needed to get that screwdriver, I boogered them up some more. And if you've heard me complain in other videos, I've ordered several sets of screws. I thought I kept getting Beretta 92 screws, and I was like, oh, well, that sucks. At least I can throw them on my 92. Come to find out, I don't even know what freaking screws they've been sending me, because they're not even for the 92. Actually, it looks like if they were for the 92, I probably could have got them to work, because the 92 screws are real close to the Cheetah screws, just a little bit longer, I think. But anyways, so yeah, please forgive the ugly screws on there. Those will eventually get changed out. And I'm going to stick with traditional flathead screws on this. I'm not going to go to Allen. Just kind of keep that classy look. This has the rounded trigger. It's got the blue finish. This is my classy looking Cheetah. If you haven't seen my channel before, I've got several of these Cheetahs. So kind of like to keep a unique look to each one. Now, as far as grippiness, they're not bad. Now, once again, we started out with the second gen polymer grips. Now, compared the two of these, they're pretty close to being the same. Maybe the original plastic ones, the checkering might be just a hair slightly more aggressive than what we have on the wood ones. Now, I've only had the chance to take this particular gun out to shoot once, and while shooting it, I really didn't. I mean, it's not like these grips are slick. There is no issue at all. Never was I like, oh man, I wish I had more grip. No, they work just fine. But just know, this checkering isn't the most aggressive on there, but at the same time, neither were these maybe ever so slightly more aggressive checkering. Now then, the last version of the plastic grips before they switched to the 80X, these are the grips they threw on the F and the FS models of Cheetahs. And this texture, once again, not a big difference from the second gen to the third gen, but I will say I do feel like this checkering on the newer grip panel is once again just a hair more aggressive than what we have on the second gen grip panel. So what I'm saying is, if you're trying to get some grips with good grip, the wood ones, while they look nice, you're really not gaining anything out of the grippiness. You're not necessarily losing any. Like, these are just fractionally more aggressive, but you're definitely not gaining any grippiness on this. Now, I honestly wasn't even planning on going down this route, but I must point out the lock grips. This is much grippier. If you're wanting to get some aggressive grips, Lock does make grips for both the single stack and the double stack versions of these, and should have shown to begin with everything I have out here on the table and next to it, just so the YouTuber viewing police know we are safe on everything. So, wood grips, they're not any thinner, just a hair thicker, nothing you're really going to notice. The checkering isn't any grippier, just a little less. Once again, nothing you're really going to notice. If this is a gun that you carry, and you're wanting to get some better grips than what you have on their factory, I would say go with Lock grips. Or if you're just dead set on keeping everything, factory on it, I'd at very least get this later version of grip that came on the F and the FS, if that's not what you have on there already. But if you're wanting to add some kind of nice class, add some more of a classic look to your Cheetah, these wood grips you really cannot go wrong with. Yeah, the Medallion's going to end up falling out on you. Once it does that first time you glue it back in, you should be fine. At the same time, these are pretty cheap grips, so it's kind of like, what do you expect? So, I mean, I think for the price, the look you get for them, because that's what I was going for with these grips. I was not going for anything to be more, tactical or anything. I was just wanting it to look nicer but still be functionable. And their grips do a perfectly fine job at doing that. So if that's what you're going for, I would definitely recommend these grips. The Medallion thing does kind of suck, but at the same time, you got to remember they're pretty freaking cheap grips to begin with. And the wood quality and everything seems to be pretty nice. Sorry, I should have took my light out more and zoomed in. Trying to get a good shot of what this wood grain looks like here. Now I've been pretty good about cleaning solutions and stuff off of these. And like I said, I've only had the chance to shoot this particular one once, and that was just recently. And so the finish hasn't been exposed to too many solvents, so can't really speak on how well that holds up. But once again, like talking to people that had these grips, the only complaint they had was this Medallion coming out. Other than that, they seem to really like them, to the point, like I said, they put Scotch tape on them to try to fix that issue. So that's it, guys. That's all I've got for you on the Beretta factory wood grips for the Beretta Cheetah series. And also, obviously, now that the 80X is out there, pretty sure these will not fit on the 80X without some heavy modification, because the 80X has that flat back, just so you all know. Alright, guys, that is it. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Until next time, stay safe and stay shiny.